ERP will going to combine or it will going to integrate and it will make the business activities or it will make the business procedure which needs to be automated. Implementation. It will going to provide variety of technology support in order to implement the solution very fast in execution mode. Together we are bundling the functionality or commonly operated business model of the organization as the ERP packages. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Rohini TS, Assistant Professor, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So in my today's session, I will be discussing about the B.B.A second year's third semester, a subject called Management Information System. In short, we will be calling it as MIS of a module 5, and I am discussing about the session 1 of a chapter name called Application Technology. So before getting into this, we'll see the syllabus copy of the module 5. So in this module 5, we will be dealing with the application technologies. It includes introduction and ERP concepts, evolution of ERP, how this ERP has been evolved, then ERP packages, and we will be discussing about the ERP evaluation, then ERP implementation, application. In that we have an example called Tally.ERP 9. So let me discuss about the definition of the ERP. What is the need of having this ERP in the organization? So ERP, as the name indicates, and it has an abbreviation, that is Enterprise Resource Planning. In short, we will be calling it as ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, or it will be termed as what? Enterprise Systems. So these are the software system. This is a software that has a set of instruction for the purpose of business management. We are going to use this ERP or Enterprise Resource Planning as a software in order to have a business management and encompassing modules which will support the functional areas which is related to some of the organizational business or a management. This will going to include supports planning, manufacturing, sales, marketing, distribution, and then accounting, financial, then human resource management, as well as it will support project management, then inventory management, service and maintenance, and also it includes transportation and e-business. So this ERP or enterprise software or a system is a system software. So this will going to allow or it will going to help in order to take a business management, and it will going to support some of the areas like sales, marketing, manufacturing, planning, developing, human resource management, which is related to financial, accounting, and also it will include the inventory management, project management, planning management, and transportation, as well as the e-business. So this is the definition of ERP, and this is also important. Define ERP or define Enterprise Resource Planning. So now we'll see regarding the next topic, that is ERP concepts. What is the need of having this ERP in the organization? So this Enterprise Resource Planning is a cross-functional enterprise system that integrates and automates many of the internal business processes of a company. What and all it will going to do? So it will integrates and automates. So this will going to combine different activities or different business process of a company, and it will going to be make it as automated. No human intervention is required in order to process or in order to have the internal business process of a company. That is the main thing which is related to this ERP. This ERP will going to combine or it will going to integrate and it will make the business activities or it will make the business procedure which needs to be automated. For that purpose, we will be having this ERP or Enterprise Resource Planning. Then it includes logistics, distribution, accounting, finance, and human resource functions of the business. What this ERP consists of? It has the accounting, it has the distribution, and it has the logistics. Along with that, it includes financial and accounting as well as human resource functions of the business. Then it will going to collect the data from different functions and then stores the data in single central data repository. What is the main usage of this ERP? It will collect the data from the different firms. but whatever is required for my organization will going to be collected and it will going to be integrated and automated with the help of this ERP concept. Then it will give the company an integrated real-time view of its core business processes. It mainly focuses on the business activities which is core to the organization. It is not going to bother about the functionality of the outer world. Instead of that, it will mainly focuses on the activities of the business which is core to the organization. Then what this ERP will going to do? This will going to enable us in coordination of the daily activities. It will going to automate and it will going to integrate the activities on the basis of it will be based on the daily basis. Then efficient response to the customer order. It will efficiently and effectively respond to the customer order, and then it will provide some valuable information for improving the management decision making, because it has a communication with the customer. So by taking the reviews or by taking the feedback, this will going to help in order to have the valuable information which is needed in order to make a business decision in the organization. This is related to what? ERP concepts. Next, we'll see what are the features of ERP we have. So, this is also important question. So, explain the features of ERP. Mainly it is what? It is mainly concerned about the security. This ERP system will going to allow only authorized user to access that. Without authorization or without giving the credential, it won't allow in order to do the transactions or in order to have the usage of this ERP. So this provides access and updating rights to the user as per the control which is requirement of the management. As per the requirement of a management, it will going to controls and coordinates the activities of a business only if the person is authorized. So by giving that, we can say this ERP has a security. Then authorization. So it is mainly obeys the rules and regulations of the organization. It will going to uphold the authority of the organization. So this ensures that the transaction is completed with regards to the business rules which is set by the management. It will going to take care about the transaction as per the requirement of the management, as per the rules which is going to be set by the management. Next, we have a referencing. It is mainly will going to keep track on the details of the employee or whatever the transaction happening in the organization. For example, by the time of ordering until the reaching of a product to the customer, every data will going to be tracked or every data will going to be referenced with the help of this ERP. So it is a feature provided for tracking the chain of event for monitoring progress, checking and control. For the purpose of events occurred they are going to use this chain of events in order to monitor how it is working and what is the progress of this particular organization or this transaction, and then it will going to keep track on the control. That is related to what? Referencing. Next, we have a responsibilities. It will going to work based on the run through the rules and the regulations or responsibility which is allocated by the organization. It will not going to breach any of the security or it will not going to breach any of the organizational rules and regulations or responsibility. Next, we have a implementation. It will going to provide variety of technology support in order to implement the solution very fast in execution mode. So with the help of this ERP, we can implement variety or it will going to support variety of technology support in order to implement the solution in a very fast manner which is in the execution mode. So what are the features we have? We have a security, authorization, and we have a referencing, responsibility, and then we have a implementation. So now we'll see the next topic, that is benefits and challenges of ERP. So having this ERP in an organization will going to have a vital number of or it will going to provide vital benefits to the organization. How it will be beneficial to the organization, we'll see now, and what are the challenges are we supposed to face when we are having this ERP. So main concern is what? Quality and efficiency. So main benefit is what? Quality and efficiency. This ERP system will going to create a framework for the integrating and for improving a company's internal business activities or processes. By having this framework, this is very helpful in order to prepare or in order to develop a quality and efficiency in a work. So that is how benefit in by making use of this ERP. Next we have a decreased cost. So with the help of this ERP system, it will going to decrease the cost, or it will going to decrease the monetization in the transaction processing cost, and it also reduces the cost in terms of hardware, software as well as the IT support staff. Then we have a decision support. So this ERP system will going to provide the data and information which is needed by the manager in order to make a business decision. So in that way it will be beneficial to the organization. So it will provide a cross-functional information on business performance which is quickly to the manager. So if the manager is getting the data and information quickly, then it will be easy for them to make the business decision. So next we have a enterprise agility. So this enterprise agility is related to what? There will be a great flexibility in the ERP. So implementing ERP system break down many former department and functional walls are silos of a business processes, information system and information resources. So we can choose any of these as per the requirement of a user. It is not static, it will be dynamic in nature. Based on our requirement, we can cut down or we can break down the functional activities of the ERP. So these are the benefits and challenges of ERP in the organization. So next we'll see about the evolution of ERP system. How this ERP system evolved. So it is not evolved over a night. So from the 1960s, there were a system called inventory control packages. So most of the companies were dealing only with the development, deployment and implementation of a system. So they were using some of the programming languages called Fortran and then Algol. So these are the legacy programming languages. They were designing, developing and implementing by making use of this legacy languages. So after that, in this inventory control, it is mainly focuses on the computer systems. So after this 1960s, in the 1970s, they were started with the material requirement planning. Their main concern is about the material required for the planning. So they will consider this as a MRP. In the 1980s, they were gone with manufacturing resource planning of a part 2, that is enhanced version of this MRP. And in the 1990s, they started with collaborating the new technologies, features like implementing, testing, resource management, accounting, finance. By integrating all those things, they started with a enterprise resource planning that will be termed as ERP, and it has an extended version which is used in the 2000s or 20th century, that will be termed as what? ERP or extended ERP. This is how ERP evolved from this inventory control package to ERP or extended enterprise resource planning. We'll see the next one, that is ERP packages. So what is this ERP packages is all about? So this ERP package represents the commonly operated business model of the organizations. Together we are bundling the functionality or commonly operated business model of the organization as the ERP packages. So these packages are mainly targeted or mainly focuses at the manufacturing industry and consisted mainly functions for planning and managing core business that includes sales management, production management, accounting and financial affairs. So this ERP packages completely, it is a bundle of manufacturing and it is a bundle of planning, manufacturing, and that also includes the core business which is related to sales management, production management, accounting and financial affairs. Then what this ERP packages consist of? It is not only related to the organizational function and also it is related to various sector. So we can have the ERP system for the sales and distribution, we can have the ERP system. So main concern is what? This ERP system will going to commonly have the commonly used or operated business model of the organization. So it mainly consists of finance, it is related to finance and it has a human resources, logistics management and consists of maintenance management and it is related to sales and distribution as well as quality management, materials management and it has related to manufacturing and strategies and operational planning. So that complete ERP packages will going to provide the support for all these sector. So now we'll see how this ERP package consists of or how this ERP solution has the modules. So what are the modules which included in the ERP packages? That packages can be related to business forecasting, planning and control. It will be termed as business package, and in the sales it will include sales, distribution and invoices. In the field of productions, it includes production planning and its control, and in the field of material, it has a material management, and in the field of finance, it has a finance and accounting, and in the field of personnel, it is mainly related to the human resource, that is personnel management. So this is how the modules of the ERP packages consist of. So it will going to have related things which is related to sales, production, manufacturing, and it includes material, personnel as well as the financial. This is related to ERP packages. So now we'll see what are the things are we supposed to consider when we are evaluating the ERP. That means I wanted to have the ERP for my organization or for my enterprise. Then what are the things I need to consider? So this evaluation of ERP software is very challenging and tedious task. So why we are saying this? This ERP package is not going to give you the 100% satisfaction of the customer requirement. It is only going to provide up to 70% of a requirement of a customer. So it is not going to satisfy all the 100% requirement of a customer. Instead of that, it will provide only 70% or 70 to 75% of the customer requirements, because this ERP package is like what? It is not all the time suits for your requirements. So we have to pick up the different features of the ERP, then we have to make it compatible with the requirements of the user or the organization. So that how we are going to evaluate this ERP, we'll see now. It will going to be takes place in the some of the following terminologies. First is what? ERP selection team. So there will be team in order to select the ERP. This ERP selection team consists of Chief Information Officer, and it also includes the IT manager. It is not only includes CIO or IT, it also includes the top level management and a user. Those are all the user. How this dimensions of the on the basis of user dimension, how this ERP is well going to suit their requirements, and also they are going to include the top management and header of the authorization or header of the organization. Those were all the people who is going to select this ERP. Somehow it is a tedious task because we can't predict how this ERP will going to give the resultant for the requirements of a user. So that it is necessary to have a special skills in order to analyze the ERP which is well suited for the organization. Then scope of ERP software. This represent what are the fields where we can use this ERP. So it can be used in the field of accounting, it can be used in the field of sales, management, finance, and it can be used for the purpose of maintenance and for the purpose of monitoring, HRI, and it also includes the human resource informations and management, and also can be used in the field of distribution, procurement, and the customer relational management, that is CRM. So those are the fields where we can use this ERP packages. Then total cost of ownership. So this total cost of ownership analysis is not only include what are the cost value or monetary value are we supposed to pay in order to have the ERP. It also include its implementation cost and it is maintenance cost. If something goes wrong with the user side, then there will be a service cost. All these costs will going to be analyzed in the phase of this total cost of ownership. So they have to pay taxes, they have to obey the rules and regulation of the owner of this ERP, and total cost. So for what and all the purpose are we giving the money in order to get the service from this ERP? Everything will going to be included in this TCO analysis. So this is related to what? ERP evaluation. On what basis we have to purchase or we have to select the best ERP which will going to suit well with a organization. We'll see the next topic, that is ERP implementation plan. So now we purchase the ERP. So now it needs to be implemented for the use. So this has several stages. It includes discovery and planning, and it has a design, development, testing, deployment, and then ongoing support. So when it comes to the discovery and planning, there we have to dig up the features which is required for my organization, which will going to satisfy the requirement of a business, or which will satisfy the requirement of a users. So then we have to plan, like what we have to do, what are the features are we supposed to include, so where it can be used, how it can be used. So that planning will going to be takes place in this first step. So in this discovery and planning, they are going to have some of a group of people. At that time they are going to build a team. So they will analyze what is required for our organization, and all they will be going to decide. So next we have a design phase. So in this design phase, they will think about how it look like and how it needs to be used and whom needs to be used and how they are going to use. So that things will going to be takes place in the design. And development, so using of a technologies and using of services which is available, they are going to develop this ERP packages, and it needs to be tested whether it is satisfying the requirement of the organization. If not, what are the re-contributions or what are the reframing things can be takes place will going to be done in the testing and deployment. It is the final stage in order to reach to the customer for the use. So once the testing is over, once everything got ready, then it has to be deployed to the customer space, or it has to be deployed to the organization for the use. Then it has to take place ongoing support, that is like maintenance throughout the usage of this packages or usage of these features of the ERP needs to be take care about the owner of this ERP package. They have to provide a support for error detection, they have to provide a support for the diagnosis of errors, and all the kinds of management or and all the kinds of services has to be takes place in this ongoing support. This is related what? How we are going to implement the ERP. Next, we have a software called Tally.ERP 9. So this is a software which comes under ERP. So we'll see the definition of this ERP.Tally and what are its features. So this Tally.ERP is the world's fastest and most powerful concurrent multilingual business accounting and inventory management software. This ERP.Tally 9 is the software which is mainly used for the purpose of business accounting and inventory management. That is the main usage of this Tally.ERP, and this is important topic for your examination. This is multilingual. That means it has a capability to handle more than one language of an Indian language. Then it is designed exclusively to meet the needs of a small and medium business. It is mainly used in the small and medium businesses. It will be in the terms of number of transaction which is taking place on the basis of day-to-day activities. And mainly this Tally.ERP is fully integrated and it is affordable. That means in the terms of cost, somehow it is reasonable and highly reliable software. It is mainly a software. Mainly this will going to be used for the purpose of business accounting and for the purpose of inventory management in the organization. So you can see the example of Tally.ERP software, how it will going to look like. So you might have seen these kind of Tally.ERP in any of the shopping malls in order to do the transaction sales. So in order to have all those transaction detail, they will be using this Tally.ERP 9. So now we'll see some of the salient features of this Tally.ERP 9. It is very important. Remember one thing, features of ERP is different than this Tally.ERP 9, because this Tally.ERP 9 comes under the ERP. It is a package or it is a software which comes under the enterprise resource planning. So what are the features it includes? It is simple in nature, it is easy to set up and use. Anyway, it is a software, no need to take it, no need to hold it. It is what invisible in nature, so it is a set of instructions, so it will be simple in nature and it is very speed. So it has the capability to generate the instant and accurate reports. By making use of that Tally, we can do that. And it has a feature called power, that is Tally.ERP allows the user to maintain multiple companies with unlimited levels of classification and grouping capability. It has a powerful technical tool in order to maintain the different companies' transactions under the unlimited levels of classification and grouping capability. There is no restriction of over having number of groups or number of organizations or level of the organization. There is no restriction over having that in the ERP. So next, it has a flexibility. That means it provides a flexibility in order to generate instant reports. No need to wait for number of hours or minutes. So instantly, if the transaction is happening, then and there only it will going to provide the reports. Then scalability, so it suits to any style of a business need. It is not only meant for a particular type of activities, it is not only meant for a particular type of operations of a business. It will going to hold or it will supports or suits to any style of the business needs. And also concurrent multilingual capability. So that means this has the capability to work with more than one language of a Indian language. So it will going to accounts in any Indian language. There is no restriction of having only Kannada or only English or only Hindi. So it will going to support most of the Indian language for the transaction. Next, real-time processing. It has the capability to provide or to have a immediate posting and updating of a books of accounts. No need to wait for any time. So everything will going to be takes place immediately with the power of this ERP, that is real-time processing. Next, accounting without codes. So no need to give the accounting codes. So instead of that, we can have only simple names. So it will going to have a regular names. We can give a regular names for this package. We can get done the work which is with the help of this Tally.ERP 9. What is the last feature of this Tally.ERP 9? That is remote access. So if you wanted to use this software, it has the capability to provide the data wherever you are. That means you can access the data and information, or you can access the data from anywhere and anytime. There is no restriction over the time and place. So these are the features which consist in the Tally.ERP, and it is very important question, can be asked for either 10, 15 or even in order to write about the Tally.ERP. So we'll see some of the important questions from this chapter. So here I have listed out some of the 15 marks, 10 marks as well as the 5 marks question from this chapter. So if you study these many questions, I'm sure you are going to get good marks in the MIS. It's all about MIS, that is Management Information System. Let me meet you in the next session with the new topics. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you.